Hello, 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 hello. All right, it is Wednesday. Yes. We are halfway through this week. It is hump day. Oh my goodness. So, I am Kimberly Lawson of Lawson Learning Academy. That is my consulting firm. I am a speaker, a business consultant, podcast host, and an author. Yes, so I'm so excited to talk to you on this wonderful Wednesday. So, before we get into everything, I must tell you that I am going live using StreamYard. And so, before I can see your comments online, please go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and grant StreamYard permission to view your profile picture so that if you want to leave me a comment, I know that it is you who is speaking to me. Yes. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful Wednesday. Those of you who just tuning in, I'm Kimberly Lawson. I am a speaker, a business consultant, a podcast host, and I am an author. And so from time to time, I like to jump on live to give you guys some helpful tips that will help increase your brand and your business. And I want to invite everyone to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please hit that subscribe button if you are watching this on the replay on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe so that anytime I post new content, you are definitely in the know. So today, I'm going to talk to you about common mistakes in branding. Branding is so important. Branding is important. Branding is the reason why Starbucks can charge upwards of $5 for a coffee versus the gas station charging you less than $1 for it. It's about branding. Branding is why Nike can charge you hundreds of dollars for their shoes versus those you see at Walmart. Excuse me. So, if you're in business, it's so important that you have proper branding. It's so important that you have proper branding. Unfortunately, many people make some mistakes and they're very common. Common mistakes with branding. So, we're going to talk about that today because I want everyone to have a well established brand so that you are able to charge top dollar for your products and services. My website is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. So, for more information on me and my business and the services that I offer, please visit KimberlyLawson.net. Okay. And you can find out about all things Kimberly Lawson. So, let's get into it. Common mistakes in branding. Common mistakes in branding. So, one common mistake is cheap brand identity. Cheap brand identity. So you're thinking like, okay, I have to spend thousands of dollars to properly brand myself? Absolutely not. That is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that establishing a cheap brand identity in the long run is going to hurt you. Cheap brand identity is detrimental. So, what I mean by cheap brand identity, you don't get a quality logo to start out. You don't establish a functioning website to begin with. That's cheap brand identity. There are things that you can do on a budget, but you don't want to put your brand out there and your brand looks cheap. You don't want your logo to look like my 6-year-old drew it for you. You want to have a quality, well designed, well thought out logo. As far as your website, there are many options when it comes to building a website, but what you want to make sure is that in your branding that everything looks like it belongs there. Everything looks well established. So you know the difference when you're buying clothing between clothes that look cheap and clothes that are cheap. What you don't want to do is look like a cheap brand. So it is important that starting out, you get yourself well established, get a functioning website, pay and get a quality logo. There are many graphic designers out there who work freelance. There are various services where there are different price points to get a logo done. So no one should have a cheap brand identity starting out. So that is so important. So again, we are talking about common mistakes in branding. And those of you who are just tuning in, I just want to say thank you so much. And if you decide you would like to leave me a comment to let me know that you are watching this broadcast, make sure that you grant StreamYard permission first. Go to StreamYard.com/Facebook in order for me to view your profile online. So, common mistakes in branding. Number one, cheap brand identity. Number two, and this is big, missing your target audience. Missing your target audience. Oh my goodness. So what that means is that your brand is established and it is something of value, but you're not getting it in front of your audience. You're not getting it in front of your audience. So that would mean, why would an alcohol, a liquor brand need to be in front of kindergartners? That doesn't make sense. That is not their target audience. Maybe the kindergarten teachers, maybe the parents of those kindergartners. But the kindergartners, no, they are not the target audience. This is important. This happens when you are not properly established as a brand. You're not aware of what your avatar is and who your target audience, where they are. And this is so important. You want to be in front of your target audience. Why? Your target audience is the ones who are going to pay for your products and services. But how can they pay for something that they don't know about, that they're not able to see? This is important. It is important that as a brand, you are in front of your target audience. That's important. So let's move right along to number three, overextending your brand. This is a mistake in branding. This is a mistake in branding. So you've heard maybe the saying, a jack of all trades and a master of none. You don't want your brand to be that. This is overextending your brand. Tell me why it makes sense. Tell me why it makes sense now for a pizza restaurant to serve breakfast. That's an overextension of a brand. Now, sure, they could offer, a breakfast pizza, but how many people on a daily basis are looking for some type of breakfast pizza? That could be an overextension of the brand. That's an overextension of the brand. The very common brand, such as Chick-fil-A, you notice they offer what? Chicken. They have not overextended their brand. They are making sure that they stay in front of their target audience, which was number two. They're staying in front of their target audience, people who like chicken, people who want that quality product, and they're not overextending their brand. Chick-fil-A is not offering you pizza. Chick-fil-A is offering you chicken sandwiches, chicken nuggets, chicken tenders, and other chicken items. But they know that, okay, this is what our brand is. We are Chick-fil-A. Why would Chick-fil-A be offering you pizza? It doesn't make sense. So I know that as a business owner, and you see, the market growing in other areas, and it seems like certain people are doing really well in this, and you're like, okay, I want to jump on board with that too. Take a pause and decide, does this make sense for my brand? Does it make sense? And if the answer is no, then you should not do it, because you could hurt your brand. You could hurt your brand. These are common mistakes in branding, and you do not want to do that. So those of you just tuning in, I want to say thank you so much for joining me. I'm Kimberly Lawson. Today I'm talking about common mistakes in branding. So number one, as a recap, cheap brand identity. There are ways that you can do things on a budget and, make smart decisions financially about where you want to put your money into your brand in areas where you can maybe save and do some DIY. But what you don't want to do is come across as a cheap brand. You don't want to have a cheap brand identity. Number two, missing your target audience. You have to be in front of your target audience. If you're not in front of your target, how are they going to buy your products and services? It needs to make sense. You have to get in front of your target audience. Number three, overextending your brand. Overextending your brand. That's pretty self-explanatory. The example I gave, Chick-fil-A is not selling pizza. And that is why, because their brand is about chicken. And if they decided to serve pizzas, they would then be overextending their brands. What you don't want to do is be a jack of all trades and a master of none. You want to master your trade. You want to master your product. This is so important, because otherwise you are making one of the common mistakes in branding, and you do not want to do that. So I have someone who has given me the comment, great information, concentrating on my brand right now. Unfortunately, I do not know who you are. You need to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and grant StreamYard permission to view your profile. But I'm so happy that you find this information beneficial. I love that you are concentrating on your brand right now. Yes. All right, great tips. What else would be under cheap branding? So that is a great question. So logo would definitely be under cheap branding. And if you offer products, products can easily be under cheap branding, because it goes into the quality of the items that you are offering. Another thing that would go under cheap branding would be your phone service. So if you're one of those companies where you need a customer service line for your products, you're selling clothing, how can you offer adequate telephone customer service with one line? And I promise you, I have seen this. There is a clothing brand that is out there and is known for selling online to the live audience, but has one telephone line, and you have to call in to order. Tell me how that makes sense. Someone help me out. That is a common mistake in branding. And what I'm finding when I'm paying attention online with that particular clothing company is they're losing customers because of the frustration of having to call in multiple times. If you're going to establish your brand as offering, something sort of like QVC or HSN, you need to establish the brand that way. You need a multi-line telephone system. So that is one example of a mistake in branding, by establishing a cheap brand identity. So we are moving right along. We are at number 4 in our common mistakes in branding. Number 4, inconsistency. Oh my goodness. Inconsistency. So that could be many things. Maybe there's some inconsistencies in your products. If you are selling shoes and you decide that you want to change manufacturers because this is going to save you some money, is the quality the same? If the quality doesn't match where you are or better, then you're going to be an inconsistent brand. How many people have bought jeans from a company and they're all under the same brand, but depending on what color you buy determines whether or not those jeans fit you? That is inconsistency. So if your brand is, and I going to definitely shout this out. So Savage Politics, if you're not familiar, Savage Politics is a political bite that comes online 3 days out of the week, and it's 30 minutes. But this person is online on the days that she says she's going to be online. Erica Savage, she's online the day she says she's going to be online. She's very consistent with that. So that is important when building your brand. I took my children to a barbershop one day and the hour said 12-ish is what time they open. 12-ish. What is ish? I've yet to see that on a clock. So that lets me know right there that when it comes to their actual hours of operations, there's some inconsistency there. So their customers will have to play the guessing game about whether or not they are there. Inconsistency could be with your website. which could also go back to cheap brand identity. So one day your website works, one day your website doesn't work. That inconsistency. When people are trusting you, and that's what it is. That's what people need to understand. When people buy products and services from you, they are trusting you. They're trusting you to deliver what you say you're going to deliver in the manner in which you say you're going to deliver it with money that they have earned. You should not be consistent. This hurts your brand. You need to be able to establish your brand strongly and be consistent and deliver what you say you're going to deliver. So that is wonderful. So I want to give a shout out to Sharika Key. She said, trust. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That is so important when you are talking about branding. And I see that Jeanette Hill is watching. Hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys are finding this information to be so beneficial. We're talking about common mistakes in branding. Now, my website is scrolling across the bottom, and I want to tell you that you can go to my website right now and register for my masterclass, Branding 101. So this masterclass will not only tell you how to establish a strong brand that will generate revenue, but it will also tell you some of the common mistakes in branding. So I definitely want to invite you guys, if you are building a business, if you're building a brand, to sign up for this masterclass. It is June the 27th. That is a Saturday. It is virtual, so it is definitely safe because we're definitely right now during the time of COVID-19. So virtual is very safe. It's wonderful. And there are three options when it comes to registering for the class: coach, business class, and a first class ticket. Now, this is, because this is summertime and under normal circumstances, so many of us would be vacationing. So, coach ticket is $50. This gives you full access to the master class. Business class ticket for access to the master class, a digital workbook, and a digital recording of the course. That is $100. And the first class ticket is $150, which gives you full access to the master class, a digital workbook, the digital recording, and yes, I said and a 1 hour one-on-one coaching session with me. So if you are looking to establish a brand, you and a business, this is the time. This is the perfect time. And so while you're in the beginning phases, it's important that you understand branding and how it generates you revenue so that your brand in the beginning is set up to make you money, because that is what we're in business for. We're in business to deliver quality products and services to people, but we're also in business so that we are able to provide a living for ourselves. And so establishing a brand is definitely going to help your business establishing a very strong brand. So again, I'm offering a masterclass on June the 27th, Branding 101. It starts at 10 a.m., 3 levels of ticket: coach, business class, and a first class ticket. If you were interested in signing up and you need more information on it, please visit my website, KimberlyLawson.net. You are able to there purchase your tickets there and sign up for the course. So I hope to see so many of you there. So Jeanette Hill said that very useful information. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you found it useful. I have another Facebook user who is waving at me. I'm waving back. Unfortunately, I do not know who you are. Please make sure that you visit StreamYard.com/Facebook and grant StreamYard permission to view your profile so that when you say hello to me, I'm able to address you back directly. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in. I am Kimberly Lawson. I am a speaker, a business consultant, a podcast host, and an author. And it was my pleasure talking to you today about common mistakes in branding. And again, I invite you to visit my website, KimberlyLawson.net. If you're interested in scheduling a consultation with me or a free complimentary meet and greet, so maybe you are establishing a business, but you have some questions, you want to kind of talk things through a little bit, I invite you to sign up for a complimentary meet and greet. This is a 20-minute one-on-one session with me and you so that I can find out what your business goals are and so that we can decide together how I can best be of service to you, because that is what I am all about. I want to not only inspire you, but I want to help you succeed, because when you succeed, I succeed. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel and visit the website, people, if you are interested in being a part of my master class. So I just want to say once again, thank you so much for tuning in on this wonderful Wednesday. I hope you found this information beneficial. And I just hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a beautiful evening, lovely people.